RayRoc, we're waiting on you now. This is your podcast today, so it's all about you. Let's hear
My
your
time?
story.
My first time? My first time was extremely bizarre for a bunch of reasons. So, okay, I got to tell you the night before to get to my first time. So, an ex-girlfriend of mine had came with her friend that drove. And I wanted to get back with
Did they ever come together?
not in the way that I would like to have seen, but no.
Okay.
At least they never told me. So this is the summer. See, unfortunately, I went to Catholic school. No offense to Catholics or nothing like that. I got nothing against them, but the school itself sucked. Anyway, so this is the summer of 8th grade going into high school. And anyway, they come, and her friend's name was Katie. She was just going into college. I'm just going into high school. So it got chilly out, and I just wanted to get back with my, ex-girlfriend, like we parted amicably. But, so anyway, it got chilly out.
Wait. Okay, so this girl's already like 4 years older than you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're what, around like 13, 14?
About that, yeah. So wherever you're at going in, let's call it 14 for argument's sake.
Okay.
So what had happened was that night, and it's a summer night too, mind you, but it got chilly, and for some reason I had on like a hoodie on or something like that. So she said she was chilly. So me being me, I took off my hoodie. I said, "Here, wear this," Oh, thank you, yada yada yada. I'll bring it back tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, right. I ain't never gonna see this again, right?
She's got sleep in it.
So here we go to the next morning, next morning, late morning, about 11 a.m. I hear a knock on the back door, which was weird because me and all my buddies, we never knocked. We just came in, no matter what was going on. We just walked in. Somebody was doing something, they button hook back out, see you in an hour or whatever. Anyway, she comes in, she's got a 4-pack of wine coolers. And the hoodie that I gave her, she said, I just wanted to return it to you. And I'm just standing there in my boxers, confused. I probably should have put on clothes because I already know I didn't know who it was when I knocked. That was weird. So she comes in, like I said, 4 wine coolers, probably daiquiris or whatever. And so we're sitting on the couch. My room was in the basement, in your typical row home where I grew up in, Philly. So, sitting down, and all of a sudden, she just, started kissing me. I'm like, okay, So, next thing I know, she's going down on me. And I'm like, oh, awesome, cool. Which was also a first. I had a lot of firsts all in the same deal. So she whispers in my ear, she goes, go down on me. I'm like, okay, Now, one, I've never done it before, really don't know what I'm doing. And this is...
Can we... Sorry, I'm really sorry, but can we just pause for 1 second?
Of course, bro.
I really want to hear this story, and it's the worst time ever, but Finley's just said that I need to tuck him in for bed.
We can wait.
Okay, well,
are you sure?
In the meantime,
just hold that sentence, Ray, because I'm getting right into this. Okay.
Okay, just hold it in, Ray. You can do it. You've done it many times.
Whoops, that's all right. I can keep going.
In the meantime, us. We always like to bring a little bit of weird news.
Oh man.
So, RayRoc, do you want to tell your story, or do you want me to tell a story first?
Go ahead. I was just telling one, so why don't we switch off? Go ahead.
Okay. So, a woman. Do you think anybody's ever climbed Mount Rushmore? With all the faces or anything like that?
Probably.
Yeah, so this woman decided that she wanted to climb Mount Rushmore and got arrested for it. But I'm actually surprised how much she was only fined for. A Nebraska woman has been... Oh, sorry. That's a stupid ad. A Nebraska woman has been fined $1,000 for climbing the Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota. Authorities say Alexandra Incatriles, or whatever the hell her name is, scaled the massive granite with bare feet and no rope. She did it without a safety line.
Yo, that's awesome.
That's crazy. I would never fucking like. That's crazy with no safety
For
line.
real? Shit, I'd carry you with me. Come on, Coop. Hang off Lincoln's nose. Let's go.
Jesus. No,
So,
I'm already scared.
Episode 69, and I was getting really into that there, and then you just like cock block.
Wait, you were the one that cock blocked the story.
Coop makes a good point there.
All right, well then just let us know when you're ready. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready. He's ready.
All right, well
really ready.
All right, go ahead, RayRoc.
We got as far as kissing, her going down on me, whispering in my ear for me to go down on her. Right? So now she
I bet she climbed Mount Rushmore.
Well, let's put it this way. I didn't know what Mount Rushmore was at this point. Now, see, back in my day, we had, like the Spice Channel you could watch. Every once in a while, that bitch will come in clear as could be, porn. This is porn. I know you guys are a little younger than I, but, I don't know if you mixed the whole stealing your dad's, VHS porns, and all that shit.
Yeah.
All right, they got me. So, I already got an idea of what's going on. I know how everything works. Never had to have to talk. Anyway, let's get back to the actual story in hand before I go drifting off somewhere else. So, I go down and pull down her pants, and I swear it was like a scene out of the Scary Movie. This bush comes flying out of her pants. Coop, this was not a freshly mowed, but
this was a 3D pop-up book, right?
Like Busch Gardens named that place after this girl's. So I'm already confused. I really don't know what to do. I mean, I get the general concept of it, but to actually do it for your first times, I can't even find it, man. This thing was just, a legit bush.
It's like one of the magicians where they pull out one of those roses.
Dude, it blew my mind. So now I got to part the bush sea to find this thing, right? So I grab her thighs, like underneath my arms, and I pull it down a little bit, Go searching again through the jungle. Finally find it, I think. So this went on for maybe 5-10 minutes.
Ray's been going all Indiana Jones.
A lot of hair on my tongue, sitting there like spitting it out. Constantly. It was insane, man. And if you're wondering, no, this was not her first time by any means. By any means.
But so no one previously had said, get rid of that shit.
Well, actually, yeah, but I'll get to that. Well, not to her anyway. I just maybe she thought she was from the 70s or 60s, like was her prime. I'm not quite sure. So anyway, after that escapade ends and I, spit out about 30 dozen, pubic hairs out of my mouth. On to the fun part, I guess.
You got free dental floss, did you?
Jeez, dental floss. You could hang somebody with this hair. I mean,
play the harp.
I mean, you could style it. Her hair's longer than my actual hair down there. So okay.
The world's smallest violin on your teeth.
There's a whole fucking orchestra.
So she grabs me by the hair. I had hair at this point in this period of my life. One point I was bald. Anyway, she grabs my hair up and she says, just jam it in. I'm like, what? Which I couldn't even believe I said that out loud, She said, just jam it in. So she grabs my ass. Now, she's still sitting on a couch, right? She just grabs me like I'm kind of on my knees, right? Somehow these hands get down to my little bony ass and just... Here we go. So this goes on for... yes, I was wearing a condom, by the way. That she also provided. Because I wasn't expecting that shit at all. This is...
Do you think it always should be her that provides it?
You got me on that one.
But she doesn't want to get pregnant, right?
Say again?
She doesn't want to get pregnant, then.
Well, if she knew it, well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So,
just think of the mess. Just think of the mess if you didn't have a condom and you had to pull out. Just think of all that matted hair, just all clumped up into one big greasy boy.
Oh, he threw up.
So, all right, so this goes on maybe 20 minutes, half hour, something like that, right? And at one point, this thing fell off. I didn't even know, you know? So I'm not sure what ended up happening to it. So I don't know why, but I pulled out anyway, not even realizing this thing wasn't on anymore. And, Coop, do you know what a facial is?
Yeah, I believe I do.
All right, well, this was unplanned. I didn't mean to do this, but it just happened. I'm still on my knees on the rug. Now, this is a basement rug, too. I got rug burns on my knees from this. So, anyways, she just got blasted in the face at the end of this particular story. And much like what you did with your first time, shortly after that, we finished the wine coolers and she left. So, now we didn't have cell phones back at this particular time in life, you know? They didn't exist. Not to the general public anyway.
Oh, I'm trying again.
So this particular girl, now all I wanted to do was get back with my ex-girlfriend. Now here, you know, and then this happens. We hadn't known each other for 24 hours when this happened. My guess is she was a complete slut, and I'm glad that I wore condoms every time. Because basically, for about a week straight, this is all that happened. She'd come over, we'd have sex, she'd leave. Come over, we'd have sex. It was just like Groundhog Day. For about a week.
Wow.
And but now here's the funnier part. In the basement, little did I know until they actually knocked on the window. There was like a little window, you know, that you could see directly into the basement, right? There's like 4 of my buddies. I look up, I see 4 heads in this window, right? This is like, you know, maybe the 8th or 9th time we're going at it. You guys serious? So, you know, I start laughing, right? I've never seen a woman get so pissed off in my life. She grabs a pillow and just goes, stuffs it under the, you know, in this particular window, comes back and has the angriest sex with me I've ever seen in my life, you know?
Wolverine style?
Oh, man, that part's a little bit blurry, you know, because that was just off the wall. So, she, just to cap this one off, she actually has the audacity to tell me, she goes, I don't like your friends, I don't want you hanging out with them. Now, we live in a cul-de-sac, which is another word for a dead end. Now, these are my brothers, you know what I mean? Like, we all grew up from diapers together, you know?
Right.
And she goes, I don't want you hanging out with them. I'm like, yeah, that ain't happening. You know, she goes, well, you got to choose between me and them. I'm like, them, like without skipping a beat. So she walked off, pissed off, and that was the end of that particular escapade. But you want to talk about fucked and chucked? It wasn't just a one-time deal. It was like I don't even know how many times this shit happened, but...
That was like a week vacation.
I guess, you know, until that, it was... Now, like I said, the weird part for me was, you know, like, typically, if I'm going to be with somebody, I got to have some type of feelings for them. I'm not a slut, actually, you know. I didn't pimp like you did, Coop, although I could have. I just chose not to. Sorry, had to throw that in there. But that was my first time.